Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining this lunch with Haley. Today, we're going to be talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and how it's impacting the staffing industry. I'm going to wait till we jump into the presentation because we still have a lot of people coming into the Zoom meeting right now. So we'll wait another minute or two. But while we're waiting, I want to ask a favor. I want everybody that's on the call so far to use the chat feature in the bottom of your screen. Let us know about your experience or depth of knowledge using AI right now. Is this something that you're completely brand new to? You really haven't even tested? Is it something that you've tested a little bit, but you don't really know how you're going to implement this in your organization? Would you say that you've been using it for a little while and are comfortable with it, but want to see what else is out there? Or would you say that you are an AI expert and you should be with Jeff and I here talking about how this is impacting the staffing industry? So let us know where you are in terms of your AI depth, expertise, and knowledge. And this will help us a little bit with crafting what we discussed today. All right, so we've got Joseph who says lots of chat GPT and Dolly. Awesome. Pam is brand new. We've got Mark who's got minimal experience, really brand new. Let's see. Aiden has used chat GPT for a while. That's about it. Aiden, I think a lot of people are in your similar situation. Terry has tested some, not sure how we're going to use it. I think a lot of companies are still in that spot where they're not sure where we're going to use it. Caitlin is using it and comfortable, but wants to know more. Michael using it for job descriptions and some presentations to clients. Awesome. Great. So it looks like we have a mix. We have a lot of people who have been using AI to some extent. The majority of people have mentioned Chat GPT specifically. We will dig into that and talk about that. But as we're going through today's presentation, what I really want to do is make this interactive. So if you're one of those people who are an expert in using ChatGPT or using AI for specific use cases, please add that to our chat so that we can share some of that expertise with everyone and we can learn as a group. If you're someone that is brand new, don't worry. We're going to talk about a lot of different tools here today. And what I want to reiterate to everyone is that you don't have to jump in and use everything. You don't have to jump in and try every single thing that we're mentioning today, because I think that would be overwhelming. Where I really suggest you start is to dip your toe in the water. Think about and look at the one or two nuggets that we shared today that really would be beneficial in your organization. And then we can go ahead and test, implement, see what happens. All right, so let's jump in here. And again, we're going to talk about AI in the future of the staffing industry. Is it an existential threat to everything that we do? Or is it a huge opportunity for us? And joining me today is Jeff Gibson. Jeff is the CEO of our sister company, Recruiters Websites. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Great to be here, Brad.
And myself, I'm Brad Smith. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer here at Haley Marketing Group. And about a year ago, we sat down and we said, all right, AI is going to change what we do. AI is going to change what we do here internally at Haley Marketing, at Recruiters Websites, and it is going to also change what's happening in the industry that we serve. So we wanted to get ahead of this. So we formed an AI task force and looked at key individuals in every single area of our organization, because AI can impact every single area of our organization. And we put together some plans, some processes. We've tested a variety of different AI platforms, AI tools. We're looking at integrating AI in all of our software as a service products and our processes and everything that we deliver and serve to our clients. So we're going to share some of what we've discovered. We're going to share what we're hearing in the staffing and recruiting industry. We're going to share what we've heard from other experts in the industry and outside of the industry so that we can collectively improve service delivery, be more efficient, and drive more results for our organizations. So let's jump in. And the way that we'll structure this is we'll talk about AI at a fairly high introductory level. Then we'll get a little bit more specific into recruiting, sales, and marketing things that you can do with AI right now. And then we'll wrap up by digging into some real world examples. So Jeff and I will pop out into ChatGPT, we'll pop out into a few other tools and introduce you to some things that you could be doing right now to drive efficiency and productivity in your organizations. All right. So to start off, AI has completely exploded. ChatGPT was released just about a year ago now, November 30th, 2022. And boy, how it has impacted things. When we look at tools that are available to us right now, we can use AI to assist with writing, with our design efforts, with payment processing, with web development, with our presentations and how we approach clients, with productivity and how we streamline and eliminate monotonous tasks. With automation, I know a lot of people in the chat had mentioned that they were using Sense or Bullhorn automation. There's great opportunity for us to streamline a lot of what we do, provide better service, and help in our day-to-day jobs. There's a bunch of imaging tools, writing tools, video tools, audio, coding, productivity. No longer do you need to know how to be a programmer to develop some amazing things. AI has streamlined so much of that. And if you do any search for very specific tools, you'll come up with almost what seems like a never-ending list of opportunities for us. It can help with research. A lot of people are already using it for writing. There are a ton of amazing marketing tools out there that help increase and improve the level of our branding efforts. There's sales AI tools that we'll get into. I know that's a big challenge for many staffing organizations right now. How do we sell new services? How do we drive more leads? We'll talk about some sales opportunities there. And then design, music, content creation. There's so many tools out there. For those that are new or those that are looking to explore what other opportunities are out there, I'd encourage you to go to a site called There's an AI for That. I love this database. It's amazing. And you can type in any specific thing that you're looking to accomplish or a topic or a theme. And it's going to report back a whole list of different AI tools, technology, software as a service that can help you solve and overcome and improve in those areas. So a simple search for recruiting or interviewing or sourcing or lead generation. It's going to report back a whole list of different AIs and get you into the brainstorming mindset of what you could potentially do in your business to transform processes, to transform your organization using AI. So a great, great research tool. Now, I mentioned earlier that since ChatGPT came out about a year ago, there's been a ton of advancement. And even when we look back at the midpoint of this year, back in May 2023, there are about 3,700 AI tools out there. Fast forward to today, there's almost 9,500. Jeff and I were fortunate enough to do this similar presentation for another organization about a month ago. Since that time, there's been more than 1,500 new AI tools introduced in just a few weeks. It's absolutely amazing what you can do and what you can accomplish. And we're going to see this rapid growth in technology continue to move forward and continue to progress. What I want to caution you, and I mentioned this at the beginning, is that you don't have to use all of these tools. In fact, you'd be silly to. Instead, I want you to look at what things are monotonous, what things are holding your organization back, what things you could automate, and look for AIs to help do that. And we'll talk about a good place to start in a few slides here. But overall, we feel pretty strongly that AI will dominate every area of recruiting. And it's not going to stop at recruiting. It's going to be every area of business in general. AI will impact everything that we do on a daily basis. And it might even be more impactful than the advent of the internet itself. It's amazing the amount of tools that are available and how it can change and streamline what we do. So the question I get all the time, and it's starting to wean a little bit, but question I get is, are we facing an existential threat? Okay, if AI is truly going to change every area of recruiting, is it going to completely replace me as a recruiter? Is it going to eliminate the need for my job? And I liken this to a transformation we went through a decade or more ago. Monster came out, and we thought to ourselves, oh my goodness, now companies can post their jobs online, accept applications, do everything that we provided, and streamline the process and do it more cost effectively and efficiently. Then Indeed came out and said, we are going to own search for jobs, so that when anybody is searching for a position, we are going to be in the forefront, and we're going to be search optimized, and we're going to own rankings and own that traffic. We thought to ourselves, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? LinkedIn came out, and you have this database of professionals. How easy is it going to be to replace a recruiter now? Because all of these candidates across the entire economy, across the entire US, are freely available out there on LinkedIn. Any HR professional, any internal recruiter can use LinkedIn to recruit. We're afraid these were all going to put us out of business. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have Jeff here. And before Jeff launched and started recruiters' websites, he was in the recruiter seat himself. He was working in the family business and had gone through this wave, this influx of new technology. Jeff, if you can remember and think back to when all of these started to come out, did you think they were going to put you out of business?
So I didn't, but my dad did. In fact, a little story. We weren't allowed to use LinkedIn, and we weren't allowed to use mass mail, believe it or not. But my dad took my mom on a trip to Hawaii for a couple of weeks. That was like their 25th anniversary, and it was me and my sister. We had about a year experience apiece, and he came back, and we made 14 placements. And we're in the executive recruiter space. We work in the insurance industry, and he wanted to know what we did. So I said, Dad, we worked on LinkedIn and we sent out mass mail. And he's like, and that worked? And I was like, yeah, it worked. So if we're gonna just get stuck behind the times, you're gonna make a little bit of money still. You're still gonna make placements. But we got to keep up with what everyone else is doing. And if there's a faster, easier, better way to do it, let's do it.
I love that story. I love how you just waited till he went on vacation and you're like, hey, surprise, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my strategy from then on. I had to get him out of the office to try something new.
there you go. So send him on vacation, try something new. I love it. I'm sure he kind of appreciated that as well.
Yeah, I hope he's not watching.
Yeah, you might be in trouble if he is. So I love that story because I hear from a lot of staffing companies right now. Hey, we've put a hold on anything AI. We are afraid of the risk associated with it. We are afraid of implementing this in our company. We're afraid of allowing our team to use it. And in some cases, that's founded. We need to make sure that we set things up properly. We have the right process. We have the right safeguards in place. But to Jeff's point, if he wasn't using mass mailing, if he wasn't using the tools that were available at the time, they probably would have made that number of placements. And I say the same thing about AI. I don't think that AI is going to replace the recruiter, but I will say this. I think AI will replace the recruiter that doesn't use it, because the ones that do are going to be so much more effective, so much more efficient. The staffing salespeople that use AI are going to be able to reach a much wider audience and have a bigger opportunity to close sales, get that job order, and the recruiters will be more likely to fill those open job recs by using AI. And I want to share a story that I just recently heard at Staffing World, and it I think is a great microcosm of how AI can really help. So they did a study where they took high-level chess players and they pitted them against the AI. And they said, all right, you're gonna face the AI head on. Okay, these again are championship, high-level, best in the world chess players. They lost to the AI 100% of the time. They didn't win a match. But then they said, all right, we're going to take these same chess players and we're going to let them use the AI to help them in the decision-making process. So the AI wasn't making the decision itself, and the human chess player wasn't making the decision themselves. They were working back and forth, using AI to make educated decisions. And what they found was that the human using AI beat the AI alone the majority of the time. Okay, so there's a huge opportunity for us to make better decisions, to be faster, to be more strategic if we use and leverage AI. But it's not going to replace us, because the human combined with the AI is going to outperform the AI. So let's think about ways that we can use it more effectively. Let's not be scared that AI is going to be the death of the recruiter, that it's going to replace that recruiter. Let's think about ways that we can use it to add more value to the equation and engage with people more quickly and more effectively. And the reality is, there's so much challenge right now in the market. We've got 3.9% unemployment, just ticked up a little bit, but there's still over 3 million more jobs than candidates. And that's just in the US market. We're seeing record number of retirements. The baby boomers are leaving the workforce. We've had a population deficit. Our birth rate has been lower since the 70s. Okay, it's impacting the workforce today. We've seen a rise in the gig economy, in freelance work, in people going down the entrepreneurial path and launching their own businesses. All of this is reducing the talent pool for higher level positions. It's a challenge right now. And these talent shortages are systematic. There's no end in sight, right? The population numbers, our immigration laws and rules, everything is impacting this. Even something like the opioid epidemic is impacting the available talent pool. Okay, so it's a little bit scary for the US workforce, but it's great for the staffing and recruiting industry. Your resources are going, and your tools and your process and the service you deliver is going to be in high demand. Okay, but the companies that do it most effectively, most cost effectively, most efficiently are going to be the ones to rise to the top. So when you're thinking about this and how you approach the market, I think there's a few ways to approach this. As a staffing and recruiting agency, what bucket are you going to fall into? You could be a scout. Okay, with the shortage of talent, there's going to be a need for people to go out there and actively scout talent. Look for the up and comers. Look for the people who have potential that could go into that next role, that next level. Look for untapped talent pools. Maybe they're people with some difficulties learning. Maybe it's somebody that is on the autism spectrum. Maybe it's a second chance. Maybe it's a area of the population that is underserved. Maybe it's helping organizations recruit bilingual managers and then build a non-English speaking workforce. There's so much opportunity out there, but that's what a talent scout could do. You could take the other route, and you could take the Jerry Maguire approach and be a talent agent. When demand is greater than the supply, you've got to be a scout to find the talent. But if you think about professional sports, agents exist to help people get the best possible deal, to take and pitch their skills, their background, their experience to organizations. So you could reposition yourself as a talent agent to help a limited pool of professionals find the best opportunity to optimize what they're making and what their potential is. Whatever path you take, though, I think that we do need to be aware and cognizant that we have to be experts in AI if we're going to gain market share. So AI will, I believe, help you future-proof your own jobs and your business. At a recent conference, this is not Staffing World, but one conference before, We were at a roundtable where we were talking about AI and what impact it will have. And it was interesting to me, the divergence of thought in where AI was going to take it. You had some people who are like, this is going to completely replace the recruiter. I'm firing everybody in my company and I'm going to run the show myself with AI, which I think is unrealistic. And then on the other end, you had recruiters who said, there is no way AI will replace what I do. I'm irreplaceable and forget it. I'm not using it because it's all about people. I think we're somewhere in the middle. I think reality is somewhere in the middle. We went back and forth with the person who said that AI won't have any impact on what they do. And where we ended up was that he felt strongly that recruiting, that staffing is all about building a connection with the candidate on a personal level. And I didn't disagree. I think that's so right. I think that's where you add so much value in the relationship, is building that personal connection, truly understanding that candidate. And then I followed up and I asked him, out of all the applications that you get, how often are you able to have those discussions? How often are you able to get down to that level of conversation, of connection? And it was a minor percentage of people that walked through the door that he was able to do that with. So I looked at him and I said, what if AI could help you connect with more people on a personal level? What if we could get people through the onboarding and the application process so quickly that you were able to have a bigger percentage of people that you could build those relationships with, because AI eliminated a lot of the administrative? And all of a sudden, a light bulb went off in his head. You could see it. And I think he finally realized, hey, there is a place for AI in what I do every day. And if it can help me streamline the administrative tasks that are burdening me, even something as simple as data entry or resume parsing, then I could spend more of my time on those thoughtful relationships. And that's where he really makes his money. So think about it in those terms. It doesn't have to completely revolutionize everything that you do, but it should impact and make you more effective, more efficient, more productive. So let's get into it. AI in recruiting. There are a bunch of tools out there. Here are just a few. If you Google the best AI sourcing tools, a bunch will come up. But here are some that we've looked at, that we've tested, and we'll get into some more specifics. But something like a Paradox, really expensive chatbot, but it provides an amazing candidate experience. You've got Converse AI, where it allows you to do high volume outbound calls, outbound candidate reach, and not just text messaging, but actually voice calls, text, SMS, email, everything. It's a virtual recruiter, and it'll conduct interviews and candidate screening on your behalf so that you can get to that more personal relationship faster, quicker. There's a tool like Deep Brain that does AI interviewing and pre-screening. Let's eliminate all of those people that are just hitting bulk apply. There is a tool like Be Human, which will personalize video at scale. Candidate that does video interviewing and AI. There's Enriched Data. I love this one. It will go through and help you do a GitHub search and do a candidate analysis so that you can find people for high-tech positions that aren't out there actively looking for a job, but are open to gig assignments or something else. Jeff is going to demo a tool he's developed called Talent Scribe, which will completely revolutionize the content writing side for staffing and recruiting companies. And we'll get a quick demo of that at the end of today's presentation. But there's so many opportunities out there for us to improve what we're doing at every step of the recruiting process. So here are some of the things that AI is going to help us do. It's going to help us identify the best times to be hiring for whatever position that you're looking for. And it's going to vary by position, by industry, by platform. It's going to help us streamline and let us know the best times to be doing these activities. It will predict profitability of finding, or probability of finding, and cost of a talent. Matt Lozar from our team right now uses technology to help make better decisions on where to invest recruitment advertising budgets using programmatic tools. It's a great opportunity to streamline costs, save your organization money, and fill more positions. We can identify people and processes that result in the best hires. You can compare recruiters for different types of positions. You might find one recruiter excels with a certain subset of people or a certain subset of jobs. Okay, you can use your internal people more effectively. You can look at forecasting a new hire or a potential hire's career trajectory and what skills or backgrounds or past experience make for a great employee moving forward. Accelerating time to hire, which is so important. Eliminating poor fit candidates. We're starting right now to see AI job applications take hold. Okay, you may see a mass increase in applications from unqualified candidates because they're using AI to complete job applications. Well, let's use AI to weed out those poor fit candidates and screen them. Okay, big opportunity for us there. Overall, we want to look for ways to make your job easier or at least make you more productive. So why will AI really impact the industry? Our clients are going to expect it. At Haley Marketing Group, we're already seeing that. Clients are expecting, especially on the marketing side, that you're using AI to be more effective, more efficient, and be more productive. So do more with less. It's going to rule because it's going to help us make better data-driven decisions. We are so great at collecting data. We're not too great at analyzing it and using it. AI is going to help us do that. So that might be data in your CRM, might be data in your ATS, might be data on other platforms that you use. Let's begin using all that data that you've been collecting over the years, and let's use it to make better decisions. It's going to improve recruiting performance with speed, hopefully diversity, hopefully our quality of hiring. So how are we going to use it? Well, for business development, we're going to find prospects. We're going to improve our outreach, both our quality and quantity of outreach. We're going to automate repetitive and administrative tasks. It can help us improve sales training. You can use the AI to do role playing, and even role playing for a specific type of company that you're going after and targeting. We'll figure out what questions to ask, what objections, how to answer those objections, how to move past those objections. We can use it for sales forecasting, our lead scoring. We can use it for lead generation. We're seeing chatbots be very effective at helping move people through the funnel, through the sales pipeline much more quickly, qualifying them and providing a better experience. It can help with lead qualification. So let's look and dig a little bit deeper and look at examples of AI for business development. One thing that I hear from staffing companies all the time is, we don't know exactly who to target in our organization. We don't know who the buyers are. We don't know within those organizations who to target, who to focus on. So here's some list building tools that we've looked at. There's Apollo, Seamless, Sales Mirror. Great opportunity for us to use these tools to build stronger lists and then do automated outreach. There's note-taking tools like Fireflies, Read AI, Notion. Zoom released some free AI capabilities. I will tell you, whenever I'm having a client call, discovery call, sales call, consulting call, I'm using these note-taking tools. And from there, I'm taking a transcript, and then I'm turning that transcript into a follow-up email for our clients, into a list of action items for our internal team to act on, into training tools so that I can take that one high-level conversation consulting call that I had with a client and share that with some of our newest team members so that they can see the types of questions I ask and the responses that our clients are getting so that we can better lead the industry. You can do the same thing with your internal team. It can help dramatically in training and onboarding and also
Even
provide a better client relationship. Jeff, you were going to say something?
Sorry, Brad. Even on interviews. So if you had a Zoom interview with a client and candidate, you're able to take notes, provide a summary back to the client, and then gain some insight as to what kind of questions are being asked.
Yeah. In this industry, speed is everything, isn't it, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So use these tools to make it more effective, to get this to the rest of your team, to follow up with a client immediately, to move things forward. There's a bunch of automation platforms that I bet most people on this call are have access to, but maybe aren't using to their fullest. Let's start using them to eliminate all the inefficiencies in our organization. We can use it for email writing, and I think a lot of people are. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, Brad. We did get a question. Do you want to take that now or wait?
Yeah, let's take it. What is it?
So Carlos wants to know, is there a legal framework that allows AI to decide about who passes pre-screening and get get the opportunity to have an interview? And what about bias?
Yeah, so let's leave that question to the end till our legal expert is on. I'm kidding. We don't have a legal expert joining us, but there are real questions around that. So AI is inherently biased because of the data that's available. And I'll share a quick example. AI is helping with dermatology and skin cancer detection. Okay, so most of the US population doesn't have the ability to go see a dermatologist, and there's a shortage of dermatologists. And AI is helping there, and AI is being used to detect skin cancer. For white people, it is, I believe the number was like 92% effective, but for those of darker skin, it's only 72% effective because of limited data sets. So I share that, and it's obviously different than hiring, but we have to understand that there is potentially some inherent bias with the use of AI, especially on the hiring and interviewing side. So I don't have a solid answer for you right now. I don't think that I think we're still learning and still determining and evaluating where the bias comes into play, but we have to be aware of that. We have to, again, pair AI with the human to make better decisions, but I wouldn't rely on AI specifically. But Carlos, I don't want to sidestep your question. Really, I think it does make sense to talk to legal counsel a little bit to figure out where that line exists. But I think it's going to be a moving line, because as we continue to see, there's more and newer AI all the time, and the large language models are still learning and collecting data and updating consistently. So it's something that is going to be a little bit of a moving target.
And I just had a little bit to add to that, and I think that you hit the nail on the head with the personal attention. You know, the being there as an individual, as a recruiter, your expertise is greater than just relying on a bot essentially to make a hiring or firing decision, or hire or not decision, rather. Just like when I was recruiting, we had certain companies that would hire strictly or not hire strictly based on assessment. And we're like, well, you haven't actually talked to this person. He's, he or she's great. We get past this assessment stuff and actually get down to talking with him and working with him and finding out if they're a fit or not. And that's where, being a recruiter, we can kind of step in and say, this doesn't make any sense. Whatever the bot says, if they're using something, if your client's using something, we have to push back a little bit. But as a recruiting and staffing firm, I would use AI to automate the everyday tasks, but leave decision making to the human, at least for now.
Couldn't agree with you more. And using AI and the data available will help you be able to get to that human decision quicker.
Right, exactly.
All right. So to wrap this slide up, a few other ways to use AI for business development. We're going to use content tools like a copy AI, like ChatGPT, like Jasper, like Talent Scribe, which we'll get into. There's great tools for LinkedIn like Evie AI or Outboundly that can help you market at scale. Chatbots are an amazing way to move a prospect down the funnel, help them get the information they need quicker, faster, more effectively. It improves the customer experience. And then video outreach tools like Tavis or Be Human that allows you to do video outreach at scale that's personalized to the end recipient. So how will AI be used in recruiting? Well, it's going to help you improve your employer brand, accelerate sourcing, create better job titles, profiles, evaluate resumes quicker, do quicker and faster skill assessments. But as Jeff just pointed out, we don't want to just solely rely on it for skill assessments. We need to improve the interview process to make it easier and better and more efficient and effective for the candidate. Reference checking can be a great asset for us and help us speed that process up. And then finalizing the presentation of candidates. So think about how much time it actually takes you to present a candidate. We can streamline that. And some specific examples or tools for AI in recruiting. For job profiles, ChatGPT, Talent Scribe can be used. For interview questions, Interview AI, Dover, Deep Brain. Some of these will actually do the pre-screening interviews for you to, again, speed up that process and make it more convenient for the candidate so that they can do some of these on their own asynchronously, and you can speed up that whole recruiting process and interviewing process. Candidate screening like Fast Track, video interviewing like Interview AI or Be Human, at the application with auto applies and streamlining that. Now, finally, I want to address how AI will be used in marketing in helping you get your brand, your name, your company, your people in front of more potential buyers and in front of more candidates. Can help dramatically with employer branding and positioning you as an expert. It's going to dramatically accelerate content creation. And I think based on our chat at the beginning of today, a lot of people are using it already. It's going to improve scalability. It's going to help us reach more people faster. Can enhance personalization. There's a ton of studies out there that say in order to really stand out in the market, you need to personalize your brand, your approach, your marketing efforts. The tools now are amazing to help you reach reach people at scale, but personalize it. That Be Human tool that I've mentioned a few times will actually let you record a video message, but personalize it based on a database and have a person's name right there. And it will be an AI generated name, but it will match your voice, your tone. And it's a video and it almost looks seamless. It's awesome. Some examples of AI for marketing, obviously some of the blogging tools, some of the content creation tools. There's design tools like Midjourney, Adobe Firefly. I just saw in ChatGPT's one of their recent releases, DALL-E is integrated. Canva just released a ton of amazing tools that will help you. Microsoft Copilot is embedding it in all of their tools. The Adobe Suite is amazing with generative fill and other ways. We're streamlining everything. Social media, we're using tools called video.ai. We're using tools to help turn what would have been a task that may have taken 20 hours into a task that maybe takes 2. It's absolutely amazing. With video, there's Pictory, there's Lumen 5, there's Be Human, Animoto. Voiceovers, we can get professional voiceovers done by AI extremely quickly. 11 Labs is a great example of that. LinkedIn, a tool called Evie AI, I mentioned earlier. So there are great tools out there right now to help with marketing, to do it at scale, and get your brand in front of even more people. Now, getting back to Dr. John Sullivan, a noted expert in the recruiting and HR space, he thinks and predicts that the key to every recruiter's job security is going to be learning everything that they possibly can about AI. And I love this chart. This is not one that we created, but I think it is a great indicator of what you can do to evolve as a recruiter, evolve as a staffing or recruiting organization, and combine AI, automation, and human outreach. So everything that you see above that recruiter line, these are human tasks, or maybe even evolved human tasks. Okay, these are things that probably doesn't make too much sense using AI to help with at this point. But everything below that, and you can see some of these: screening, your assessments, scheduling, profiling, job matching, parsing. These were historically human tasks that a recruiter is doing. Okay, we can transfer all of these in purple over to an AI today and really get your recruiters to a point where they can begin building those personal relationships more frequently. At Staffing World, one thing that I heard over and over and over from staffing company owners and from recruiters themselves is that they spend the majority of their day on data entry or data cleanup. How crazy is that? Okay, that can all be eliminated so that they can get to what makes them more money, what helps drive commissions for them, what helps drive gross margin for you, and streamline things. And then everything in orange down here, these are new tasks that could be completed with AI, like lead scoring, job insights, engagement scoring, referral scoring. Okay, these are things that can help drive more value in your organization, both for your bottom line and drive value for clients. So the question I always get is, holy cow, Brad, holy cow, Jeff, there are so many tools out there. Where the heck do I start? What do I do? Where do we go? And I'm going to reiterate it for a third time. Don't feel like you have to do everything immediately. Pick something that makes the most sense for your organization and do it. And I suggest starting with mapping out your processes. Go through the process of screening, go through the process of recruiting a candidate, go through the process of sourcing, go through the process of candidate outreach, and list out on a whiteboard, on a sheet of paper, all of the steps that you take. And then look and see what can be automated through AI and do it. It's going to free up so much time for your recruiters to get down to that personal connection. Look for those repetitive actions. Look for the headaches. Identify the things that you hate doing. Ask your team what they hate doing. You know, what task shows up on their desk every week, every day, every month that they just dread. There's probably an AI that can eliminate that. Ask yourself as an owner or a C-level executive, what do you hate doing all the time? Can you stop it? Is there an AI for that? Test writing tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, Talent Scribe. It's going to help you improve job profiles, sales emails, outreach. It's going to help your salespeople to do role playing and improve when they're actually speaking directly with a prospect. Test image creation and video creation tools to make marketing and selling more effective. Test tools that make you more effective, like Read AI or Zoom AI after your meetings. It can be a great note taker, and it can give you an actionable list of things that you need to do immediately after that call to follow up with the client, follow up with the prospect, follow up with the candidate, and drive more value. And then evaluate tools that you can use to directly engage with clients, with talent, chatbots, sourcing AI, screening AI. For our own Haley Marketing Group career portal, we're looking at integrating AI to make it easier for candidates to match. Make it easier to determine what candidate applications best fit that job application. Okay? A lot of those updates are coming. So that's just a few things that you can do.
We have a couple questions.
Go.
You just answered one of them about will AI be incorporated into Haley Marketing's career portal, which is underway. And then the other question here is, let's see, I've been on the job seeker side and have not particularly enjoyed it when a company sends me a recorded response to interview questions as the first part of their screening. As someone in recruitment, I don't deny that it's efficient, but as a job seeker, it is felt very impersonal. Is there any data to show how candidates respond to these types of tools?
I don't have any data off the top of my head, Jeff. I'm not sure if you do or not, but I will tell you that you need to look at it from both sides of things. And I think the person brings up a good point in that we need to not only look at it from a cost savings or time savings for ourselves, but what's in it for the end recipient. If we're using AI and we're making the lives of the candidate harder, it's not going to save us time in the long run. It's not going to drive revenue in the long run. Right. On the flip side, if we can personalize it or maybe approach the candidate with a why, or maybe outline what's in it for them, then I think it could work. So instead of just sending them automated follow-up after they apply that walks them through what the next steps are, maybe explain to them that, hey, the reason that we're doing this follow-up is to make sure that we don't waste your time. It's not about us, it's about your time. We want to make sure that when we have that conversation, when we take the next step, we have really thought things through and we're not going to waste your time. So that's why you want to fill out these few questions. So that's the way I would approach it. And I would think of it from both sides to make sure that you're making the right decision for your clients, your candidates, and your business.
That makes sense to me. Couple more. Let's see. What would be the best tool to explore if I am a job advertiser and my biggest issue is helping my recruiting team work through candidates in a timely manner. So I think this is referring to job applications. So getting tons of job applications, how can we screen them quickly?
Yeah. So I would look, I would actually have a more in-depth conversation with your staffing software provider, with your ATS. Almost every ATS now is incorporating and embedding AI tools within that. Right now, we in the Haley Marketing Group Career Portal have something called resume match or talent match, which helps on the candidate side to see and allows them to look at their resume to determine if they're a good fit for that position. So that's one way to help. But I would have deeper conversations with your ATS and ask them specifically what tools they're incorporating or already have available to help you do that. There are a lot of others out on the market. Jeff, do you have anything that you'd recommend?
Um, no, I really don't. I mean, I would probably look at I like to combine automation with AI, and I would look at building out something specifically for this if it was my company.
Excellent. All right. And whoever asked that question afterwards, if you do want to submit that and reach out, we'll have an email address at the end. We can have our team follow up and share some tips, best practices, and other tools that you should consider and take a look at. All right. Let's have a little bit of fun. So we've gone through a bunch of theory. We've talked about potentials of what could be used. Now I'm going to hop out of the presentation and we're going to look at some live examples. I've got a few queued up. Jeff has a few queued up, and then we'll get into an awesome tool called Talent Scribe. So I'll go through my two examples. Jeff will pop into his. He'll give you a quick overview of Talent Scribe and how it's revolutionizing content generation for staffing and recruiting companies. And then we'll jump back in, answer any questions, and wrap up here. So I'm going to reshare my screen. And what I'm going to show you is something in ChatGPT. ChatGPT's free version. Wanted to show you the free and the paid side, which Jeff will feature. But what we're looking at here is something that anyone can do for free. And I think a lot of people on this call so far are using it for better job descriptions, better job write-ups. And what I did is I just took an open job rec from Indeed, a general job description, something that you'd get, and typed it into ChatGPT. And my prompt was to act as a high-level recruiter. Whenever I do a prompt in chat, I like to tell it how to act, what role I want it to play. I asked it to rewrite this job description. Okay, so again, quick copy and paste. It rewrote the job description. It was okay. It was better. I wasn't thrilled with it. So then I followed up and said, all right, real simple follow-up prompt, make it more engaging. If I was really doing this, I'd probably jump in and tell it how I wanted it to be more engaging. I want a sizzle statement at the front. I want it to focus on what's in it for the end candidate. I want to focus on these key job attributes that I think are really important. But even just that simple prompt dramatically improved this job description. Okay. From there, I said, all right, please develop a short LinkedIn message that I can send to qualified candidates that will make them interested in learning more about this role. Okay. Here's my email. It's pretty good. Now I want to create a compelling email I can forward to candidates with the role description attached. Here it is. Okay. Then I asked it, all right, create a series of 5 social media posts with hashtags that I can share to promote this position. Here we go. Now I want to create 3 versions of a job posting title I can use when posting on Indeed. Here they are. Now I want it to craft an email that I'm going to use to present to the hiring manager when I'm presenting this candidate. Here it is. Now I've interviewed a whole bunch of candidates that didn't get the position or aren't going to get an interview. I don't want them to tarnish my reputation, so I'm going to follow up with them. Okay, I created an email to send to candidates that applied to this position but didn't get the job offer. Bam, it's done. Now I want to prepare candidates that I'm sending out on assignment. I asked it to create a series of interview questions based on what the chat knows about this company, the client company. And here are the questions. All right, but questions aren't good enough. I want it to come up with answers to those questions so that I can educate and prep the candidate that I'm sending out. Here they are. Okay. All of that was done in a matter of about 5 minutes. Now, is it final? Can I just copy and paste and use this all? Maybe, but it takes some human intervention to tweak, to adjust, to personalize it a little bit, make it much more effective. But holy cow, what a time savings. I wish these tools were available for us 15 years ago. The next thing that I wanted to showcase is how AI can help us with market intelligence. So you have salespeople out there that are focused in a specific industry, okay, focused in a specific sector, are reaching out to specific companies. This, I think, is a great example. Let's say I was doing healthcare staffing. I have a regional healthcare staffing company, and I want to know what's going on with the big boys out there. So here's my script. My prompt. Please act as a business consultant providing guidance to a regional healthcare staffing company. What can I learn from the recent earnings call from Ammon Healthcare? I just went and I grabbed the transcript from the earnings call. I want to know the top 5 or top things that is impacting their business, because I know it's probably going to be impacting the clients I'm selling to. All right. Here it is. Here's what I need to look out for. Here's what I need to be planning for as we enter 2024 as a regional healthcare staffing company. Let's think about this from the lead generation standpoint. If I'm going in and I'm targeting a specific company, let's arm our salespeople with the scripts and the tools that they can use to streamline their research so they don't spend a ton of time doing digging. Okay, just 2 or 3 very specific ways to use ChatGPT, even the free version, and you're going to get great results. Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you have a few examples, so why don't you jump into it?
Sounds good.
Stop my share and take us away.
All right. Should be able to see my screen.
Yep.
Sorry in advance. I've been hacking up a lung here, so I might go on mute if I get the urge to cough. So I have the paid version of ChatGPT. I'm using 3.5 Turbo. I do have 4 available. With the recent update, I've been having a little bit of trouble with 4, so I'm going to stick with 3.5. It's been slow on 4. I think that's something they're working on. So I'm going to have an example for you, and I'm gotta go from screen to screen here. This prompt is pretty long, so we're gonna look at leading with a candidate. So I'm going to copy and paste in this prompt. And this prompt, just I want the AI to be familiar with searching Google. LinkedIn through Google, which some refer to as X-ray searching. So I'm going to plug that in, and it's going to basically spit out what it understands about X-ray searching. And like Brad, I am going to tell ChatGPT that I'm an executive recruiter and I'm focusing in the insurance industry, and I work a full desk. So it's going to spit out what a full desk is. And my next prompt is, today I'm doing business development. I have a candidate with 10 years of loss control experience working for an insurance company in Chicago. It's looking to move to Boston. And I'm asking it to create for me a search. Now, I'm not looking for candidates. I'm looking for potential clients. So I want to find director level and higher loss control managers or leaders that I can lead with this candidate, market with this candidate to those individuals. And it returns back to me this type of string. And some of you are probably familiar with that. This is the type of result that I get from that string. And I can go in and I can market this candidate to those individuals. And you can see I have director, VP, senior manager, senior director, and so on. But what's really, really cool about this is I set the Boston area. So I got Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, all these other areas around Boston. And I didn't have to research that. I didn't have to look that up. It just did it for me. As I go down, so now that I've identified these individuals, I want to send them a message on LinkedIn. So I thank you for helping me locate several people to reach out to about this candidate. Can you help me write a compelling email? course, I'll have to make sure this makes sense and edit it. And then the next example is I'm going to go to a new chat window for. I want to look at tailoring a resume to a job. So again, I'm going to start with a really long prompt. And I'm asking it to not respond yet, but I will supply you with a resume of a candidate I want to submit to this job. And in this prompt is a job description for a full stack Java developer. And the next prompt is the resume text, which I'm just copying and pasting out of a resume. So it's going to start to write the resume. It gives it to me in this nice little plain text box where I can just copy the whole thing at once. And the resume before that, it just looked terrible. It was just a mess. And then as I go down, I wanted to create an email to the client about the match. So it gives a summary of Matthew's background, and he's a strong fit, and it brings up his skills. Now I want to take that to the next level. I want a table. This is something I used to do as a recruiter, would spend time writing up a summary of a candidate, and then I would create this table with the skills, and then the skills that the candidate had matching up for the job. And now I want to modify the table. And I left this out just so I can show you how we can modify this table in chat with just a simple, can you modify this table with a new column with the years of experience? And so we added the new column, and sometimes it doesn't get it 100% right, as you can see. And you can make some modifications. Sorry, I'm trying to go quickly here. Well, it did it in my other example. Let's move on.
And that's the other challenge with AI, right, Jeff? So sometimes you're gonna have to play around. You're not going to get a perfect result, but don't let that discourage you.
Yeah, actually, if I switch down, this is another cool feature of chat. It saves what you do. So in preparation for this call, I can actually go up to this table and see where it filled it out the first time. But I kind of like to do it live so everyone sees it. Now the next one is I want to, I need more candidates. So this is just one candidate. So I'm asking it to help me find more candidates. So again, we have another search string of terms that I can use to find candidates like this. And then finally, now that we've found more candidates, again, we need a message to send the candidates on LinkedIn, which is where I was finding them at. So let's dive right into Talent Scribe. I know we're pushing it on time here.
I'm excited about this. This is such a cool tool.
So I said earlier that I like to combine AI with automation. And this is what I'm talking about. Taking what you can do in ChatGPT and scaling it up so it just happens and it just does it. And it makes your life easier. So there's two ways to use Talent Scribe. Talent Scribe is a WordPress add-on plugin that takes AI and helps you write content. So let's say you're on your blog, you don't know what to write about, hit generate ideas, and the AI is going to return back some ideas. And we'll just grab one here. Meeting diverse needs in healthcare. And create our post. And in about a minute or two, we'll have a post that we can look at. But as this is writing, here are the steps. So we start with the idea. We settle on the title. The AI will write the introduction, the body, the conclusion. It will rewrite the entire article so it's cohesive because we're writing them all at separate times. And then it will analyze the article for SEO and fill in the SEO metadata. And then the page will refresh, and then we can select an image. So here it's analyzing SEO.
Jeff, while we're waiting there, a question just came in. Is this tool free? It's not, because there is some cost associated with the API calls and everything, but we'll get into the pricing structure of this a little bit. It is extremely cost effective and can dramatically increase the amount of content that you're able to produce that's customized for your company, for your industry, for your individual recruiters. And the quality is quite good.
It will return back anywhere between 800 to 1,500 words in a single post. If you've ever tried to generate anything with like chat, it's really difficult to say, make this post 1,500 words. It doesn't really listen to lengths. You have to say, make this long or extra long. But you can see here, this is a very long article, 1,575 words. We filled it. This feature is in beta, but a LinkedIn post ready to go for the article. And then we can select an image. So selecting an image is really simple. Just click on the image and go up to the top and hit update or publish. And we'll just save this as a draft. And then that image will be set to the featured image. So this is the manual way. It takes about 2.5 minutes or so in total. But there is another way to use TalentScribe, and that is through what we're calling the auto blog. So these are this is the settings area for TalentScribe, and essentially we come in here and we set this up, and the customer is able to have an email notification go directly to them, how often they want to create blog content. We generate a list of ideas. So we'll generate 100 ideas. When this list gets low, we'll generate 100 more. And you'll get an email every day, every week, every month, depending on the interval that you set up, about a new article that gets ready to be added to your blog. So there's the option to keep it as a draft or to go ahead and to publish it right away. I recommend most people to keep it as a draft, which are the options down here. And then we have the option to set the publisher, the author, and then the types of imagery. So we can go into different types of industries, and if we need something custom, we can put in our own custom search here. And then this just puts it on autopilot. And if you like it, you post it. If you don't, then you either modify it or throw it away, and wait for the next one, or just log in and make one yourself. So that is, in a nutshell, that is TalentScribe.
Jeff, thanks so much for that intro. This is an absolutely amazing tool. So just to reiterate, you've got content ideation. So it's going through and doing the content plan strategy for you based on some inputs up front. So it's coming up with all the topics and what your audience cares about. It's going in and writing the post itself. It's finding an image that ties to that post. It's giving you the LinkedIn content that you can share. And you can set it to completely go on autopilot as well. It's absolutely awesome. I use this for myself. And what I love most about it is that it helps me streamline getting a post out. It's very hard to start from scratch. It's extremely easy to go in and edit, tweak, and adjust for your tone, for your company, to tie in specifics. Way easier to edit a post and to come up with it from scratch. And that's what I love the most. So Jeff, thank you so much for sharing. Now, there obviously was a question on cost. Let me get to that here. So have a few different plans. So there's a basic content creator plan, content creator plan ×2, and then a fully managed program. And you can learn more about those by scanning this QR code, or reaching out to Jeff or myself or our team, and we'll get you a little bit more information on that. But for those companies that have a WordPress site out there, that have a blog that hasn't been updated since 2022 or earlier, this is the tool that you want. It's really cost effective, and it will help you dramatically scale your content creation, and is not a heavy lift at all. If you have somebody in your organization that's responsible for marketing, and maybe they run a desk, maybe they're in sales, maybe they're an admin person, this is an amazing tool for them to make them way more productive. So definitely reach out and learn more. I know that we answered most questions throughout the presentation. Jeff, there was one that just came in on TalentScribe. Do you need a WordPress site for this to work?
Yeah, so you do need a WordPress site, but what you can do is you can just we can spin up a WordPress instance just for the blog, and then you can use TalentScribe and keep your same website.
Love that.
Do we own TalentScribe was another question. So TalentScribe, yes, is a tool that actually I developed, and we do own it. How does Google and search engines handle AI writing from an SEO perspective? So it's an interesting question. We've actually had some really good success in getting AI written content to be indexed. We haven't seen any issues yet.
Google has come out and said that there's no negative impact for AI content. Basically, they're looking for the best answer to a searcher's query, and oftentimes the best answer is going to be AI generated. So there's no negative impact. And to Jeff's point, we've created long form articles on a specific topic that have ranked in a day or two. It's been great.
Yeah. And somebody's asking about the recording for this. We will publish the recording, I believe. And if you need something specific, we can happy to email you a link to that.
Yeah, you can find a recording in another day or two at lunchwithhaley.com. As long as you signed up, you'll get an email follow-up. We like to make all of these webinars on demand. So if there's somebody in your organization you want to share it with, or something that you want more information on, just let us know. Awesome. Well, that brings us to the end today. I want to encourage you to look at some amazing deals that we have going on right now. We've got our biggest savings of the year for a very limited time. So visit haleymarketing.com/level up deals. This is time bound. And I'm being told that there's no flexibility there. So make sure you go to Level Up Deals on our website and look at those amazing specials. There's some great cost savings there. And make sure that you sign up for Smart Ideas. We've switched to weekly inspiration. So sign up at haleymarketing.com/smart ideas. Every single week, you'll get a great tip that you can implement and start using in your organization to save time, drive more sales, improve recruiting efforts, improve operational efficiency, and just some really actionable, great takeaways. And last but not least, we want to encourage you to sign up for our next webinar, What's Coming in 2024, Part 1. That's happening on December 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we'll outline what staffing and recruiting companies should plan for to make sure that they are ready for everything that 2024 is going to bring. So I want to thank you all so much. You can reserve your seat there at Lunch with Haley. You can find our recap at Lunch with Haley. I hope you got one or two great nuggets, great takeaways from today's session. And if you have further questions or want to dig into a topic at a deeper level, reach out to me, reach out to Jeff, reach out to the team at Haley Marketing Group, and we are happy to help. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate your time. And Jeff, thank you. That was awesome.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Brad.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.